Hello and welcome to week 2 of the winter wildcard of the UNPL. I'm Zand and I'm happy to have you here with me today. We're going to do a super quick team builder looking at our opponent's team. Our opponent this week is Crep. I hazard to say the full name because I know I'll absolutely butcher it. But those who watch the channel may remember Crep was our finals opponent back in I think the most recent season of the UNPL, not the doubles season. And we got absolutely crushed by Crep. So trying to get a little revenge here. I'm going to throw the team up on the screen. I will also put a timestamp in the description if you just want to go straight to the battle, which is totally fine. But if you want to see kind of what I'm thinking, I'm going to throw the team up. It's probably already there, actually, because I'm trying to make editing as easy as possible. And you can look at the two teams, and you're probably wondering the same thing I am, which is, Zand, how are you going to deal with a Guts Luxray with Trailblaze, Ice Fang, Facade, and Wild Charge? The answer is I'm not. This team cannot handle that. The only thing that would be like a Tera Ghost Porygon, which would then be super weak to Sneasel and not really do a whole lot for me otherwise. So I've decided let's just build a team that can all chunk it at least, and maybe we trade 1-for-1 with the Luxray. That's definitely our biggest op this week. Sneasel, obviously a massive threat. That Ice Dark coverage is so annoying. Something that can spam knockoff as your round 1 pick is so smart into a league full of Eviolite. So I think that's a fantastic grab. Got the Blastoise. Shell Smash is banned, luckily. Else that would be a massive threat. But that doesn't mean it's not a threat with things like Iron Defense, Buddy Press. I guess we have Mischievous to kind of scare that off, but it could also run like Scarfed Water Spout. It's got Flip Turn. It's the only Rapid Spinner, so I imagine it's going to bring Rapid Spin. So maybe we'll see more of like an AV support set, but either way, Blastoise super annoying, super high BST for this meta. So just kind of hard to deal with. Luxray, I think #1 op, going to be so annoying to deal with. I'm hoping it's going to be some weird Intimidate set because then Primeape can take advantage of it, but I'm not holding my breath. Crep's a good prep and battler. Haunter is very strong and was the main reason I didn't bring Mischievous this week because it's just faster, it does more damage, and I just think it's not a very good matchup for Mischievous, unfortunately. But Haunter, especially if it's Scarfed, can be really annoying for me. And it's kind of got 4-move slot syndrome, where it wants like Dual Stab, Focus Blast, Psychic, a bunch of other moves, Trick. So I think it's going to struggle a little for moves, but still. Ninetales, you're looking at my opponent's team and you're like, why do they have Ninetales, no Sun, Mons? That's because Drought is banned on Ninetales, so that's the only reason it was allowed in this format. Still actually really scary with Flash Fire. Ninetales has naturally really high base, like HP or special defense, and it gets Calm Mind, it gets like Scorching Sands fire move, so I could see that being a real pain in our side as well, especially with its nice speed. We really only have Dodrio and Dedenne to deal with it, and spoiler alert, we're not bringing one of those either. So trying to extra prep for Ninetales as well. And then we've got, you know, more of the low tier kind of 1 roll Mons at the bottom. So I do fully expect at least 4 of those top 5 to come. And then I expect 1 of the 3 Terra Caps. I don't really see Zora showing up. I don't think it does that much, but it is also a 2-point Pokemon. So it's kind of like my Shroodle, where there is a matchup where it exists, but the amount it contributes to that matchup is probably not that much, even at its best. So I'm not super worried about it. So Viper's really scary because it gets a lot of coverage. I think it also gets Trailblaze, which is kind of fun. But it is kind of just a worse Luxray, but it could come and be super annoying as well. The Rhyhorn is my opponent's only rock setter, which is interesting, but it's a Rhyhorn. But Eviolite Rhyhorn is actually pretty annoying for my team. And if it's the only Terra Cap, it could Terra Water, be immune to my electric moves, and then suddenly only be weak to grass. So that could be actually a pretty rough time. And then Bayleaf, Drowsy, and Duo are kind of just like one roll. Drowsy is really specially defensive. Bayleaf can be defensive. Bayleaf got 2 kills week 1 somehow for Crep, so it's doing something. I haven't seen a video or anything or like the actual what happened, but it's kind of incredible. And then Doduo is just mini Dodrio. It's just it'll be a Scarf Brave Birder if it shows up, I'm sure. So looking at what I'm bringing, I had a lot of sets in mind. I considered 9 of my 10 Pokemon in this battle. I think the only one that I kind of benched from the start actually wasn't Shroodle. I had Shroodle on the first draft of the team. The only one I kind of had benched from the start was Dodrio, just because it's so easily revenged by some combination of Luxray, Haunter, and Sneasel, because I can't lock in any moves. I don't want to run non-Scarf, so it didn't feel good to me. And Ice Shard is an ever-present threat, so I could have run some kind of weird Yachi Berry set, But then like a Fizdef Blastoise or a Tera Rhyhorn just walls me out. So I don't know. I ended up not being sold on Dodrio being able to do anything here. I think my opponent's going to prep pretty hard for Dodrio too, so if I can waste some of their prep with that, then maybe I can take advantage elsewhere. First Pokemon we're bringing, Houndoom, Choice Scarf. I think it's really good here. Dark Pulse generally just has no switch-ins for my opponent. The Dark Resist is Sneasel and Zora, so really not much wants to come in, and Sneasel definitely doesn't want to switch in on Houndoom. Ninetales will most certainly be Flash Fire, so it's kind of hard for us to lock into a Fire-type move. But we have it in case Luxray gets to +1. Overheat does like 70% at least. So feeling pretty good about that, being able to revenge it. Scared out. If we give Ninetales a Flash Fire boost, it's not the end of the world because we do have some water types. And then Destiny Bond is just there because we didn't need like Sludge Bomb or anything. So Scarf Destiny Bond can help us trade out 1-for-1 with a big threat. Next up, we got Primeape. This is our primary win con this week. Eviolite once again. I don't know how often we're not going to run Eviolite, unfortunately. We have the Drain Punch, Rage Fist, Bulk Up, Encore. Encore was Facade originally, because I think there's a very high chance that my opponent just brings Will-O-Wisp Ninetales, burns me, and says, okay, Primeape's not going to do anything now. Primeape is still a really big threat for my opponent, even with a burn on it, because it's hard to break, and it can get really out of hand really fast with Bulk Ups. So my opponent has to go around, knock off. If they knock me off with Sneasel, for example, I just get to KO Sneasel, and then I'm probably at +1. Even without Eviolite, I'm pretty bulky, I'm pretty strong. So I think Primeape can do a lot here. It's kind of my primary win con, kind of what I'm setting up to win with. Maybe it can mid-game break, but then I don't have a whole lot left afterward. Next up, we got the Golem. Loaded dice. I kind of considered boots, but where my opponent only has 1 rocker and 1 T-Spiker, I don't think it's the best thing in the world. Pretty basic, dual stab, rock polish, stealth rock. I like rocks here. My opponent's Blastoise always beats Golem, unfortunately. But getting rocks up at some point would be nice. I can rock polish up on the Blastoise switching in. I was thinking of running Explosion here as well, but I want Earthquake and Rock Blast just so I can hit everything. So I think Golem can do some work here. I brought it in. I actually had Shroodle in this slot, like a fun Shroodle set, but I ended up deciding it's taking 100% from neutral moves, so maybe I shouldn't. Next up, we've got Quaxwell. This is probably unsurprising, but it does really well into Sneasel. It does pretty well into Ninetales. Anything physical, it can kind of deal with, and it can low-key do something against Blastoise where it can't Shell Smash. Pretty supportive set with Flip Turn, Aqua Jet, Low Sweep, and Roost. We're not getting any kind of sweeps with this anytime soon. Low Sweep is just nice to slow things down, and it's actually a little stronger than Low Kick on Sneasel, so non-Eviolite sets are more likely to get KO'd. But otherwise, you know, it's just our little bulky guy. Next up, we've got Toedscruel. I like Life Orb this week because my opponent really doesn't have good answers for it. We have to play the speed tie game with Ninetales, unfortunately. But if Ninetales is max speed, then at worst, it's a 50-50. We have Leaf Storm, cleanly KOs Blastoise if it's not AV. We've got the Earth Power to deal with a lot of things. We've got Sludge Bomb. Kind of if they bring Terra Fairy, it also hits Bayleaf. Because Bayleaf otherwise, you know, resists our dual stab. And then Knockoff is actually really good into both Haunter and Drowsy. We're actually negative defense nature. And so Knockoff actually does a ton of damage into those 2 Pokemon. So especially if we Leaf Storm, say we KO Blastoise and then Haunter comes in, we can catch it with Knockoff when it thinks it can live anything. So I'm pretty excited about that. And finally, we've got Dedenne. So no Dodrio this week, no Misdreavus, no Porygon, no Shroodle. The Porygon, it looked good, but I just really like Dedenne's speed tier here. We're Terra Water, so you got 2 water types. Water's just really good into Crep's team because it deals with the other side of Sneasel's stab, because Fairy, our natural Fairy type, deals with Knockoff. Water helps us resist pretty much all of Blastoise's moves except Body Press. Fairy resists that, so I like that pretty well. And it just resists out Ninetales moves because I can't really run Solar Beam, and I don't know. Maybe Ninetales gets Energy Ball, but not super concerned about that otherwise. We are more of a supportive set. We're pretty bulky and fast, and we've got like no attack investment. So we've got Gleam Bolt just for our dual stab. We got Super Fang to help chunk things down like Luxray, and then Nuzzle helps us stop from getting swept. So feeling pretty good about the team. I think there's a good chance we lose this one and end up going 1-1. I think that's okay. This team, I don't know. My team, I feel like I need to look at some changes because I feel like when I was prepping, it was just so hard. Maybe it's just a Luxray thing. Maybe Luxray just has a good matchup into every team this season. But we're going to see how it goes, and we will see you in the battle. All right, we are back, and our opponent should be searching any second. Tera Rhyhorn. Okay, cool. We kind of called that. Let me see. Toedscruel. Rhyhorn is a lead. And unfortunately, the only set in the calc is an LC sweeper. Let's do Tera Fairy. Sludge Bomb does not KO from Tenta, even if it's like barely any bulk. Actually, it needs to be Spadef. So, I guess that's a plus. Alright, here's the team. Is kind of what I expected. Oh, what a lot of threats. No Doduo, no Drowsy, no Haunter. Haunter was actually pretty scary for me. No Seviper, no Zora. That's the team. Get rid of R4. Interesting. See, I thought there's a chance Luxray could be Intimidate just to help my opponent deal with Doduo. So my opponent has no fighting switch-ins, except for Tera Fairy Rhyhorn, of course. Which is actually going to be kind of a nightmare to deal with, because it's probably going to be Terra Blast. I do like leading with Dedenne here, Dedenne. We can Volt Switch on everything that's not Rhyhorn. The odds of Rhyhorn being lead is kind of high. What is Bayleaf doing here, also? Maybe I lead with Quaxwell then. My plan was to always lead with this, but I think it's very likely that Rhyhorn leads. So I kind of like flip turn Quaxwell into Rhyhorn, force it to Tera. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird we're doing it. It's kind of weird because I'm worried about the Sneasel lead as well. So good luck, have fun to Crep. We're gonna get the battle notes cleaned up real quick. And of course, Rhyhorn is here. I really think it's likely to be the lead. Needle Paw sounds like, oh, it's Sneasel. Okay, good. We led well then. That worked out. We really did not want to get caught by this. The Rhyhorn is Tera Fairy. There may be some internet lag. My internet has been weird lately. So let's check. Quaxwell. This is our Sneasel check, so this is good for us. Does not do that much to me. Flip turn does about a third. Low sweep KOs it. But I don't really want a low sweep turn 1. So I do think I will just flip turn. If I get knocked off, though, trading a low sweep, that would be nice. But I don't think my opponent knocks off turn 1. That seems bold. So I could low sweep. And then if Blastoise comes in, I pivot into Dedenne. But also flip turn just gives me that natural switch into... I go back and forth on the name of it. Dedenne. Okay, so it does switch. So flip turn was a good play. My opponent has no water immunities. Shell Shock comes in. Who is Shell Shock? Probably Blastoise. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Flip turn does nothing, but I think that is to be expected. That was a crit. Oh, and we're Rocky Helmet. Okay. Good knowledge. Interesting. So it's Fizz Def Blastoise. So that's a little annoying. We got chipped by Helmet. I don't think I'll be able to tell much from that. Flip turn. Yeah, it's doing 10% kind of regardless if it's bulky or not. Yeah. Dedenne is as free as it gets here. Yeah, we're just not going to think about it. I could have went into Toads. Actually, Toedscruel was even more free now that I'm looking at it because Ninetales kind of had to come in on that. I got a Leaf Storm, but I don't really want to show that too early. I will just go for Super Fang. I don't think I'm going to Tera here because we know it's Rocky Helmet, so I'm just going to get damage on something. My opponent has a very easy play into either Bayleaf or Rhyhorn here. I think either is totally fine. I love Dedenne. Is the Bayleaf. We do get a big Super Fang off. Does 50%, unsurprisingly. What is our switch into this, actually? I don't want to bring in Houndoom. I don't really know what Bayleaf learns. I kind of looked at it earlier, but I'm not 100%. We can assume Eviolite gets Encore, it gets Knockoff, Stomping Tantrum, gets Screens. Screens could be scary. I think I can maybe nuzzle it. I don't think it does anything crazy to me here. So we'll just go for the para. We could take some damage here. I think it's okay. Because we have the Sitrus Berry. There's no way this thing can knock me out in one hit. It's just knockoff. Okay, so much for our Sitrus Berry. So it did 41 damage with that knockoff. We can learn something about it. So knockoff does 40 damage if it's 0 investment. So that's cool. I assume Gleam doesn't do that much. And I think I just Volt though. What else do we care or not care to lose an item on? So I've showed off my whole moveset on Dedenne, which is, I guess, okay. And we've lost our healing item. What comes in on this? Could be Toads, because I think there's a good chance it clicks a water move here, or a grass move here. We can Sludge Bomb. Eviolite. Sludge Bomb should KO. So I don't hate that. If we get knocked off, we're not feeling great, but otherwise I think this is pretty safe. Synthesis is okay, so heals back to full. So this thing's gonna be really annoying for us. So Bayleaf, knock. It is at least paralyzed. I'm just gonna click. I think I'll click knockoff into Sludge Bomb, and that should KO it. Knockoff is not really here for anything else, and it catches like Rhyhorn coming in. Rhyhorn wouldn't come in, but it catches something coming in. So that's a plus. This is our main way to break Rhyhorn though, so that's a little sketch. If it is max HP, okay, it does switch. I was gonna say, does a Sludge Bomb onto non-Eviolite KO? I'm not positive. Cinder Pelt. It's the Ninetales. Knew I wasn't gonna go for an Earth Power, which is fair. Whoa, okay. Sorry about the crits. That's 2 now. It's Boots, Ninetales. That means this is a speed tie. Is it a speed tie my opponent's willing to risk? Because Earth Power should KO max HP Ninetales from here easily. Do we risk it on a speed tie immediately? That does not sound very smart to me. I hate speed ties so much. I mean, if I go for Earth Power, I just KO Ninetales now, and we may not have to worry about it later. The downside is it gets rid of all our offense if I'm not faster. Ugh, I'm gonna do it. I don't want to get burned, but I gotta make a play. Because Ninetales is one of the big things standing in front of Primeape. I think the other thing, sorry for the oven, is that Blastoise. So it was heavy duty. It is knocked. It's faster, but it Will-O-Wisp predicting a switch. That is amazing. So we should get the KO here. We risked the speed tie and lost it, but didn't get punished. So Ninetales is gone. All it did was burn Toedscruel, which is great. So, and it was Willow. So I'm really glad we didn't run Lumberry Primeape, because that was something I was heavily considering. Our Toedscruel is definitely on a timer now, like quite a timer. The Sneasel comes back in. This is the freest knockoff of my, or ice move, or knockoff of my opponent's life. Probably knockoff if I had to guess. I think I go into Dedenne here, because I like, well, Quaxwell is the, like, switching of choice to this. Now, I'm quickly running out of Blastoise answers because I'm using them both up so much. So it does not double knock off KO Quaxwell from Sneasel. Shouldn't ever. So I guess Quaxwell is my switch into this. If Blastoise comes in, that's okay, because Blastoise, unless it's Rest Talk, can't heal on me. So that's a plus. And hopefully Blastoise is faster. I can get a slow flip turn and I could actually encore it. So it does knock off. Whoa. That did like 287 to 142. Is that banded? 287 to 142. That is choice band, I believe. Yeah, it's not Life Orb. Yeah, that's choice band. So if I am no item, it's a roll to KO me here. If it's not adamant, then it's very poorly against my opponent. I will just roost. It's a like kind of crazy roll. I should have probably run a little more bulk. I ran some speed and attack just to help. There were a couple KOs or a couple rolls I didn't like, and then I like running a little bit of speed on my defensive Pokemon just so they don't get super crept, but that may come back to bite me here. What I'm seeing on this calc is this knockoff KOs 4 out of 16, so 25% of the time. Otherwise, it doesn't. If it's adamant, it probably KOs. But I don't think it is because that's like a high roll. I guess it would be a low roll adamant. I don't know. Adamant seems a little greedy into my team with Dodrio. Does switch out. Probably brings in Blastoise. Dusk Bolt, that's new. Yep, the Luxray comes in. Very scary Pokemon. Are you Guts? You're not Intimidate. We will heal back to full. It is Guts. So, Banded Sneasel means this always beats it. 1v1. I think it could definitely go Trailblaze here. I think Trailblaze is a very safe move for my opponent to click in this. And I don't think it KOs me. I gotta do a lot of calc editing because there's not a default Luxray set. Yeah, Trailblaze without Eviolite doesn't KO me. I'm gonna go for the flip turn here. I know it's a little bit bold. It is Trailblaze. Does do about half my health. I could have low swept, but that's just not doing that much damage. Flip turn actually does the most. It's still not much. So he is at +1 now, but I have a Golem with Sturdy, and there's no rocks on the field. So I can definitely click that again. It KOs this with Facade, KOs pretty much everything. I don't think Overheat actually KOs it back at this point, so my only play is the Golem. Wait, does my opponent... Okay, the ground switch in is Bayleaf, actually. So this has gotten chipped quite a bit. Am I disrespectful and set up rocks on it? I don't think so. Because Trailblaze, yeah, is chunking me pretty hard. 4-hit Rock Blast should KO and does way more damage to Bayleaf, so I do like that if Bayleaf does come in. It does switch, probably Bayleaf. Maybe Rhyhorn, but I doubt it because it'd have to come in on an Earthquake. Okay, oh, Blastoise, okay. That is okay with me. I'll take chip where I can get it. We do land the Rock Blast, we will get at least 4. It'll show off our item, or at least our opponent can assume our item. I just hate Stone Edge. I will run Rock Blast, loaded dice, like forever before I have to run Stone Edge. We get 5 hits. Does a crazy amount of damage to this Blastoise. Maybe it's Iron Defense. It may want a Rapid Spin on me. I think I do want to keep this around. So I don't hate just hard switching in Dedenne here. I think it's not the worst play in the world. Because, yeah, my opponent hasn't really attempted to set up rocks yet. It's not to say they won't, but feeling pretty good about that. So we got Blastoise. I've not been taking good notes again. Blastoise is like 50%. We'll say 49 in the yellow. Dedenne comes in. It should not get KO'd by anything. We're pretty bulky. It does flip turn. You know, that's a very fair flip turn. Probably brings in Sneasel for a free KO here, if I had to guess. Could also be Rhyhorn, though. Is Rhyhorn. I love seeing a Rhyhorn on the screen. That's pretty cool. Very high chance it gets up rocks. I mean, we can Super Fang, and we get it to half for free. It's going to pop our Sturdy, but we're not going to be doing much damage either. So, yeah, I think I do just have to go for Super Fang. Letting Dedenne get hurt, or potentially go down here is not great. So, Bayleaf is really going to be annoying into the late game. I'm going to put EVO with a question mark. I'm going to put EVO with a question mark on this as well. Luxray, we know, is Flame Orb. We know it's chilling at like 75-odd%. I could have gotten rocks up there with... I know, I would have gotten Flip turned on, so that would have been pretty horrible, actually. Sneasel, we know, is Choice Band. So we know all the items, probably. Unless Sneasel's like Adamant Black Glasses. Maybe it could have done that much, but I doubt it. Rhyhorn does Tera Fairy. I can assume it's probably Max Spadef, just because Rhyhorn has really good natural attack and defense. So just Max HP, Max Spadef is the best kind of bang for your buck. We will just take away half of its health immediately. It curses. Yikes. What are you doing? So we should always KO with Toedscruel, I say with an asterisk, because I'm not sure. That's kind of scary. Level 100. Toedscruel. Let's just assume it's max, okay? Let's just be as scared as possible. It's Tera Fairy. Leaf Storm's doing half at absolute least. I can Dazzling Gleam here for a little more damage, because nothing wants to come in on this. I hope it doesn't have a way to heal. I have Encore Primeape if I really need it. I think I'm just going to Gleam, though, for damage. Wait, it does about 25%. It is Earthquake. No, poor Dedenne. 2023 if it's max for death. So it's not max for death. So yeah, feeling good about Toedscruel. Other options, Houndoom. Nah, we go Toedscruel. We take our chip. Unfortunately, we get chipped down. We don't have good answers into Sneasel at this point at all. But I guess we'll figure that one out. Sludge Bomb is our safest click here, because it also catches Bayleaf coming in. And does like decent damage to everything else. I do like Leaf Storm though, but I will just go for the Sludge Bomb. So that was crazy earlier. I can't believe we both lost the speed tie but not get KO'd or punished. So I don't think Crep wants to keep Rhyhorn here, if I had to guess. I think it probably goes down and then Sneasel comes in to revenge me, which is just such... Sneasel's so annoying. It's so hard to prep for. Anything coming in doesn't want to take the Sludge Bomb though. There's no poison switch-ins left on my opponent's team. Yeah, so we'll hit that with a Sludge Bomb. We've revealed it, so now Bayleaf knows, but I just didn't want to miss the Leaf Storm and get destroyed by like a Mega Horn or something crazy. Rhyhorn goes down. I will take notes. Notepad. Crep. 2. We know that Dedenne is the 1. That Toads is currently 2 KOs. And we know on Crep's side, something. No rocks are going up. I think I sack my poor little Quaxwell at this point. So, what got KOs on Crep's side? What KO? Okay, Rhyhorn went 1-1. Ninetales went 0-1, and then Sneasel is presumably about to get a KO unless it clicks Baton Pass. So let's see. I hope it's Knock, and then maybe I can start setting up with Primeape. Axel, okay. So it won't KO me, but the next one has to miss, unfortunately. I don't think that KOs Golem also. Actually, it might, because it's banded, so I might eat my words there a little bit. Triple Axel. Oh yeah, KOs Golem. Do I just lose to that at this point? Do I just lose a banded triple Axel? Oh, we'll go for... I can go for Aqua Jet or Low Sweep here. Low Sweep would be assuming it misses. Aqua Jet might be better just to get some kind of chip. Oh, because Houndoom. Houndoom just comes in. So yeah, let's get a little bit of chip, just in case. Really good chip, actually. Does land the 1 Taxel. Our opponent doesn't know we're Scarfed Houndoom. It did not get rocks up. So I can go for Flamethrower here, and the only thing that wants to come in is Blastoise. So actually, Scarfed Houndoom is really close to winning here. I'm going to sit here and think like I'm not Scarfed. I want my opponent to think that I'm thinking about it. Although Choice Banded Triple Axel, dude, that's crazy damage. Does up to 80% to Houndoom. So if the third hit crits, it could KO me. Okay, so I'm going to go with Houndoom now. Flamethrower easily KOs Sneasel. I'm not going to try to predict anything. I'm just going to click Flamethrower. Not trying to miss Overheat. I'm not trying to overpredict hit a Dark Pulse on Blastoise. Because Flamethrower could 2-shot Blastoise from here. It's unlikely, but it's possible. So my opponent has a burn, or a paralyzed Bayleaf and a burned Luxray. Everything is hurt. Really good setup for this Scarfed Houndoom. Okay, does switch, saves the Sneasel. As long as Houndoom is alive, it should beat Sneasel. Okay, Blastoise comes in. So this is doing probably 20%. Yeah, not bad, but it can't do that again. And our switch into Blastoise is not much. I think we've only seen Flip Turn, so I will try to take my Rage Fist stack where I can get it. And Primeape is less important this battle now. So if Sneasel comes back in, it does threaten me with Triple Axle, but I don't mind. Primeape. Let's see. Triple Axle. Banded doesn't KO me. Supposedly. So I am quite bulky, assuming this doesn't do... Ooh, that did like 25%. Triple Axle, I can't tell. It's saying 77 to 94, and that flip turn got me... I can't run the HP. I think it's 230. So yeah, Triple Axle KOs me from Band, actually. That's unfortunate. Should have run more Fizz Def on this, I guess, but I thought I was going to be bulking up, so I didn't think it was that worth it. Luxray could also come in here. Bayleaf could also come in here. I just don't think my opponent wants to give me free time to set up. Luxray comes in and Trailblazes. It's not good. Needlepaw. Okay, it is the Sneasel. I almost ran Vacuum Wave for this. I thought about running Vacuum Wave, but at the end of the day, it wasn't super worth. So Triple Axle. I could switch Doom in on it, but if I get knocked off, I just kind of lose. So I am just going to Drain Punch and try to dodge a Taxel. It's not been good for me in the past. I don't know how often my opponents have missed Triple Axles against me, but it's not often. So maybe this is when it starts. But I already got lucky with a crit on Ninetales, although it didn't matter because Earth Power, I think, would have cleanly KO'd from like 70% anyway. Bayleaf is like, what, 95%? It was pretty high up, and Sneasel's like 70. We know all of the items, assuming Bayleaf is Eviolite. Trailblaze. Blastoise we know is Flip Turn. We know nothing else about Blastoise. And Sneasel we know is Triple Axle and Knockoff. I can only assume that Sneasel is also Ice Shard. And then I don't know. Okay, I need you to miss one of these, please. This one would be really nice. Okay. Okay. So our luck doesn't start. Hey, there's that third crit on the Triple Axle as well. So now the threat is, does a Blastoise Aqua Jet into a Sneasel Ice Shard KO me? The answer is probably not, but maybe. Actually, it depends if the Blastoise is actually physical, because that Flip Turn actually did quite a bit to Primeape. So... Flip Turn... Yeah, that's actually a physical Blastoise, so if it's Aqua Jet... I don't think it's like super physically invested. I just think it is physical to an extent. I'm just gonna Flamethrower again. This is my win con at this point. I can't, do anything about it. We're even in the sack war, which is not great. So let me see. Aqua Jet. So for Flip Turn to have done 76 to Primeape, it has to be pretty well invested. I don't know if that was a crit. I don't remember. Okay, it's not like max attack. We'll just say it's no attack investment. So Aqua Jet does about half to Houndoom, so it's not awful. Dust Bolt comes in this time. Do you take 2 Flamethrowers? I'd be pretty surprised if you did. Maybe your quick attack? Okay, yeah, no. Burn may KO here? Burn does KO here, okay. So now Blastoise gets a switch back in, Sneasel comes in, KO something, Houndoom KO something. So we're just in a sack war. I think I'm up 1 on it. I should have gotten rocks up sooner. Blastoise does come back in. Ooh, that Flamethrower is looking really nice. I will go into Toedscruel here. It is my most sackable member. I just need a Taxel to miss at some point, and we're actually feeling way better. But... 90% is always 90%. I'd also click Overheat at some point, but I don't think that's great into this matchup. Fire Blast would have also been really nice here. I ran Overheat, but Fire Blast actually should KO this Blastoise from this range. So my opponent really thinking about this. Flip Turn is the safest move, assuming you live, because Flip Turn actually doesn't KO me, but then it puts me in Ice Shard range, because Sneasel Ice Shard is going to do, like, a lot. Sneasel Ice Shard is going to do... Well, actually, Flip Turn to Ice Shard looks like a roll. But it is physical Blastoise. It may be more invested than I'm giving it credit for. Bring in Toedscruel. Flip Turns again. Oh, that's not good. But now Sneasel can't really come in. So that's a little unfortunate, because we can't play the crit game. That actually... Maybe that is, like, really physically offensive Blastoise. So I may try to go into Golem just to get rocks up here. But no, I got to keep playing this. It's... Does Flamethrower KO Blastoise if I get rocks up? Probably, right? So then the next question is... No? I think that makes sense. I guess the next question is, does Houndoom KO Bailey with Flamethrower? If it's Eviolite, the answer is probably not without some kind of chip. So I think I'll go Golem here, actually. This may be a throw, because I'm throwing away my last sack, but I'm trying to set up for just a raw Flamethrower win. And I gotta hope Aqua Jet into Ice Shard doesn't beat me. So I'm gonna set up rocks. As weird as it seems. This could definitely knock me down to Sturdy. I hope it's not like Bullet Seed, but I don't think Bullet Seed KOs me. Because it didn't seem very physically offensive. Is Leech Seed. Does miss. So now I can, because of that fortunate miss, I can actually save this. But the thing is, if Houndoom gets knocked off, we are feeling awful. So I don't think I want to risk it. Rock Blast looks like a 2-hit KO here. So I will just go for that. Maybe the play was to go into Houndoom here, but I just really don't want to get it in range. Rock Blast is maybe a 2-hit KO. Okay, crit on the 4th, and we get 5. Volpera, miss, knocks off. Okay, if I went to Houndoom there, I instantly lose. So that's very lucky. We'll Rock Blast again. I know we don't get the guaranteed 5 hits anymore, unfortunately, but we do have some things on our side, maybe. I could have switched in Houndoom here. Oh, Golem, you monster. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so that's awesome. We got 5 hits without loaded dice, so who needs the item, I guess. That was lucky. I'm sorry, Crep. I know it would have worked out the same if I'd gotten at least 3 hits and you gotten fully parried, but that does suck. So apologies. Golem just wants to win. So now I think either Pokemon comes in, KOs me, and then Houndoom, hopefully Flamethrower wins the game. We gotta hope it's not Aqua Jet Stoice into Ice Shard Sneasel, because Aqua Jet Stoice is actually looking pretty scary. It could also double Rapid Spin on Blastoise to get faster than me, but I think no, Earthquake knocks it out, so that's not a possibility. So we're gonna do like Adamant Blastoise, Aqua Jet, like worst case scenario. Rocks do dig in. It is below 20% now, so Flamethrower should KO. I am just gonna click Earthquake. I got no reason not to. Could have Rock Polished. It wasn't worth the risk. Aqua Jet from Adamant No Attack Blastoise is not doing half to me. It is in Torrent, though. It is in Torrent. Yeah, it's in Torrent. So Aqua Jet is... Yeah, Aqua Jet and Ice Shard beats me. If it has Jet. That's the final question, is does this Blastoise have Aqua Jet? And it should, right? Because Houndoom, Speedy Houndoom is a big threat. It's shown that it is physically invested with Flip Turn, so it could be my exact Quaxwell set, funnily enough. Life Dew. Okay, so it's healing itself 25%. I don't know if that's enough. Let's see. Okay, no, it's a perfectly even swap. I could rock polish to get faster, but then if it is Aqua Jet, then it stays healthy. So yeah, okay, click Surf. So it's Surf. There's no way you're triple water move, right? Surf, flip, turn, Aqua Jet. You've got to be Ice Beam for Toedscruel. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me here, please. I'm gonna go Houndoom. Click Flamethrower. We're gonna hope you're not Aqua Jet. Please don't be Aqua Jet. Ugh. Okay, not Aqua Jet. So what can Sneasel run that beats me? Nothing, right? I think we win. I think we barely win. Oh my gosh. Our second 1-0 victory in a row. So as soon as we get 6-0'd by a team, we're just, you know, -4. We could be like 6-1, but negative differential. Oh, that's horrible. Okay. So I don't think there's a way for this Sneasel to beat me. Somehow we've clutched this up. This was a terrifying matchup, and Scarf Houndoom absolutely ran away with this game. Unless... No, there's just no way. There's nothing this could have. Oh. And we've won again. 1-0. 1-0 is our way to play, apparently. But we did it. We won against Crep somehow, just barely. I don't expect that if we go against each other again in like playoffs, I don't expect that to go the way it did. But super fun game. I loved the prep you brought, Crep. There's some awesome sets. The Luxray was exactly what I expected. Curse Rhyhorn is really cool. That's really funny. That actually probably sets up and 1v1s my Primeape, doesn't it? It beats a 1v1 bulk up Primeape. So I love that. That is really good tech. Really exciting. Sneasel's a monster. And yeah, so we're 2-0 +2 going into week 3. I don't know how long the streak continues. If it stops, you know, it's fine, but I just hope we can keep that differential. If we can start doing a little better with that differential, I'm going to feel a little more comfortable getting toward playoffs. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like, and we will see you next week.